I heard from the Dallas Police Department, and they brought up an interesting point that I want to share with you, because our earlier amendment, which was defeated, that would have treated large urban areas differently from the rural areas that some of you might represent, was not adopted. And they raised a very interesting point, that since 2000, almost 60 officers across the U.S. have been murdered by their own weapon. Now, even though these officers undergo extensive training in weapons retention, both during the academy and throughout their career, officers still have their weapons taken from them. And that's even with the use of retention holsters. Our law enforcement officers use retention holsters on a regular basis. Those holsters are not required by this legislation, and likely because of their cost will not be used. This bill is going to be a huge drain on police resources, as our police department in Dallas anticipates very high call volume of 911 calls across the city when they see people carrying the gun, because it happens now with long rifles. Multiple studies have found that areas with more guns have more gun-related deaths. But I don't just stand here because I think law enforcement is going to be in a more difficult position and our communities are going to be less safe. I also stand here because of my daughters. There's nothing in this bill, members, when my daughters are playing at the park, maybe by themselves, enjoying themselves like we all used to, without parental supervision, and a strange man, an unknown man, walks up to them, openly carrying a gun. What's that going to say to them? Suddenly those quote-unquote Second Amendment rights of being able to open carry interfere with my daughter's enjoyment of their day at the park, because you have a strange man with a gun walking towards my 8-year-old and my 11-year-old, and that is what you're allowing in this bill. So I rise, members, not only for the men and women of the Dallas Police Department, I rise for my daughters, because I think this makes it less safe and it infringes on their right to enjoy their community and their parks. Thank you.